Hello. Hello. Oh, looks like you can't see me. There we go. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me and see me okay now? It took me like 15 seconds to get it figured out. There I am. All right. So there's a slight delay, about 20 seconds. So on here. Hello, Teacher Kelly. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I am really excited because this topic I had researched quite a bit. I think I've got some good tips, and I would love to know your thoughts on this. And I want to know if you think student engagement is different in the classroom versus the online classroom. Of course, it's a little bit different. Maybe let's list some differences, and then let's add some ideas, some topics. So whether you're watching this live and you want to place things in the chat box, I would love it. Or if you are watching the replay, thank you, Team Replay. Please put things in the chat box as well so that we can discuss it either at a later date or I can message you in the chat. All right, so thanks again for coming, Kelly. It says no data, but I think you're definitely different. Yeah, agreed. All right, so let me pull up my notes because, like I said, I did do some research on this one, and I don't know, I'm just excited. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Teacher Casey, and it's basically all things teaching on this channel. So ideas we come up with together, some teacher chats, some interviews, anything we can come up with, anything you need help with, you just let us know. But today, we're diving into one of the most important topics in education, and that is student engagement. So as teachers, we know how crucial it is to keep our students motivated, interested, and actively involved in the learning process. So I wanted to explore some effective strategies together. And what made me come up with this topic, I'm going to scroll up to my notes. I was trying to really come up with some ideas and some challenges that teachers are facing. And student engagement came up as one of the number one issues. For me, it was always parents, but especially with the rise of um, phones and things like that. So with the rise of digital distractions and varying attention spans, keeping students engaged in learning can be challenging. We see this online and we see this in the classroom. Teachers must constantly find creative ways to capture and maintain students' interest in the classroom. So what strategies have you found most effective for engaging students who seem disinterested or distracted in the classroom? I'm going to ask that one more time because I really am hoping for some interactive chat today or in the chat box. So what strategies have you found most effective for engaging students who seem disinterested or distracted in the classroom? What do you think? That's like a loaded question. I'm not trying to say anybody's boring by any means. Um, but it just helps to come up with some ideas. And I figured if we come up with them all together, it's even better. All right, first up, let's talk about interactive lesson activities. Okay, incorporating hands-on activities, group projects, and interactive discussions can truly transform the learning experience for our students. Not only does it keep them engaged, but it also promotes collaboration, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. We've talked about group projects on a Saturday before, and I know that some teachers do not agree with group projects, or at least do not agree with group projects going, outside the classroom. And I think you can incorporate group projects in your classroom. Like I used to teach STEM, and groups of kids, I would put a bunch of things in the middle of the table and say, you need to make a device that floats. And this was kinder, first, and second graders. Make something that floats. And they would come up with some really cool ideas together. You could hear them talking things out, discussing it, problem solving. This one had an idea, that one had an idea. First, if you are teaching little kids, you do need to talk about rules, respect, and things like that up front. Not every student is going to do really well with group projects, but it does help to get them used to working with their peers. So I think group projects can be fun. I love hands-on activities. In my classroom, I do try to make sure that every learner has an opportunity to learn. So I'll do things, for the kids that are auditory, for the kids that are visual. I'm a hands-on learner. So I'll be the first to admit when my kids were little, I would like give them things to touch and do and build. And I learned that my daughter is auditory. So for her, she needed to listen to things being read to her or things being told to her for her to be able to understand. So try to do hands-on, try to do a mixture of things. And of course, interactive discussions for students of all ages. So let me check my chat box. Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming. I do like have a little sore throat today, so I have hot coffee here. So, all right. Don't mind my drinking my hot coffee. I gotta make my notes smaller so I can see both the screen and you guys, but there's my you guys, there's my Boston for you. All right, so what about the next one? The next one I have down here is technology integration. So the power of technology integration. How many of you integrate technology in your classroom? When I was first starting out, it was becoming a little more popular, but as the years went on, it was huge. Integrating technology became part of our standards and things we had to incorporate. So whether it's using educational apps, online resources, or interactive whiteboards, technology can enhance our lessons and captivate our students' interests like never before. Students today, I feel like, are getting that immediate input, on a lot of games and things. And having technology helps them to see and do that all at once. Is it my favorite lesson, favorite part of the lesson plans? Not usually for me, but you have to embrace the digital age nowadays and leverage technology to create dynamic learning experiences. What do you guys think? You think technology can be pretty powerful? I do agree it can be powerful. I will say one of my favorite things was Raz Kids. The kids, the students would read books online. First, the story was read to them, then they read the story, and then they took a little quiz depending on what level they were on. And I could level the students at any level I felt that they needed, which I gave them a test first, not online. I sat down and physically gave them each child a test. And then when they went to their RAS kids, I put them at their level. And then some of them had to take tests afterwards. So they would have the book read to them, they would read the book, and then have a little quiz online. And then they would earn stars. And with those stars, they could build their rocket ship. So in my classroom, I had a rule. They could only start building on their rocket ship because it was continual, it was under their name. Um, the last 10 minutes of computer class time. But they could choose to go to computer center during their center time, and I didn't mind if they wanted to build their rocket then. Um, so yes, they could choose read as many stories and everything. The thing with that is you have to watch that they're not just clicking through, that they're really listening and reading the story. So that's where a parent volunteer could come in handy. But you just walk around when they're in computer class. But that was one of my favorite technology integrations. Trying to think of others, but there was a bunch. I know in our school we used IXL math as well. I am not an affiliate for any of them. just just tools and resources that I really enjoyed. All right, flip back to my notes. Differentiated instruction. I I feel like I am pretty good at differentiated instruction. I actually love learning about it. I love teaching teaching to where a child's at, right? So, for example, I know I keep using myself as an example, but that's really all I know. So, for example, at the beginning of the year, teachers in our school had to sit down and give our reading tests. Um, we use DRA, and I believe we switched to a new one when I was getting ready to leave. But anyway, we would check. We had a list. We would go through letters and sounds and if they were on level AA, if they were at level D. And then I could lesson plan around those students. So one amazing thing that I was able to do with my best friend, she was in the classroom next to me, and we would homogeneously um, group the kids. So, for example, all the AA would be together, all the A for both classes. And we would take, like, she would take an A group, I would take a B group, I would take AA, she would take, the D group and things like that. So instead of having like just one A in my classroom, since we tested at the same time, maybe she had an A and I had an A, we would get them together. So each child was getting their instruction at their level in our reading groups. It was amazing. I loved it. Um, I had different math groups. Now, there were things around the room that every student did. So, not every student knew what level they were on or where they were at. I don't think it hits them, especially in kindergarten. Now I'm like, oh, you're the alligator group, which might be the A group, right? So every student is unique with their own learning styles, their own strengths, their own challenges. So by tailoring our instruction to meet the diverse needs of our students, we can ensure that everyone is actively engaged and challenged at the appropriate level. So I love differentiated instruction. Getting off my soapbox. I think I went off on a little tangent, but I think it was all within topic. So but I love learning about and teaching and using differentiated instruction. So that is one of my passions. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the power of student-centered learning. So when students take ownership of their learning and play an active role in the classroom, magical things happen. They get excited. So from inquiry-based learning to project-based learning, we can empower our students to explore their interests and passions. Something we also did at the end of the year when we had taught all our lesson plans, my best friend and I had like 2 weeks left of where we didn't have to follow our strict lesson plans. So we each chose a topic. I chose dinosaurs and she chose oceans. And we would teach based on what we like, right? So asking the children what they like, what they want to learn about, what books they like to read, taking polls, um, make charts. What book series do they like? Find out which ones they like in the classroom. Do they like when you read the mysteries A to Z or A to Z mysteries? Do they like when you do Magic Treehouse, Magic School Bus, things like that? Make charts, figure out what they enjoy, and then go after it. Of course, you want to hit everybody. So, not hit, that's not a good word. You want to make sure you are having lots of student-centered learning. So, if I am checking and I see that most of the kids are really enjoying Magic Treehouse, I might read 2 of those books in a row, but make sure I go to some of the other ones as well so that everybody feels a part of the classroom and is enjoying their learning. So, yeah, find out what they like. All right, I'm going to keep checking the chat box just in case. I don't want to miss anything. All right, I think we're good. So, let me know how things are going. Is it all making sense? I think it's a pretty easy topic. We're getting there. I have a couple more things, a couple more ideas for you. Yeah, one thing I did write in my notes was for student-centered learning was like board games and having, I like to do student centers at the end of the day. And what I would do is I would pick popsicle sticks. So not everybody went to the exact same center that they wanted necessarily, but they would rotate through them. So Math Center had tons of different kinds of blocks to build with. It would have those geo boards. It would have all kinds of things. We had a board game center. We had dress up center or kitchen center, housekeeping center it was called. Science center was my favorite. My science center in my classroom was huge. I had fish, I had stick bugs, I had roly-poly bugs, you name it, live bugs, dead bugs, magnifying glasses, like all kinds of things. And the kids would go in there for centers and work on it. We had a garden. I just love it. I miss my classroom. Can you tell? All right. So who says learning can't be fun? Let's explore the world of gamification. So, by incorporating game-based activities, rewards, and challenges into our lessons, we can turn learning into an exciting adventure that students can't wait to participate in. I know that gamifying lessons is not easy. It is difficult. There are lots out there that we can purchase. I haven't found a lot for free, but there are a few on there. I've seen a couple on Teachers Pay Teachers. It is a little time consuming. I know there are some teachers that are like, school is not for games, but all in all, we want to make things fun. Maybe I can remember in sixth grade, my science teacher would gamify our learning. We would line up in two groups, and he would point to the skeleton when we are learning the bones of the body. And we had to come up with the names quick so our team would get a point, or sometimes if you didn't get it, you would sit down as sixth grade. And then at the end, he would hand us like an apple or a piece of fruit or something, whoever won. Or if you were the last one standing, you would get like a cantaloupe. And I just remember this teacher being so much fun. That's probably why I love science, and learning so much from him, Mr. Lomas. And he would gamify it. It didn't take him much time to do that. He's just pointing. So it doesn't have to be an online technology game, but maybe a fun challenge. I know I've seen some teachers do like a Jeopardy kind of thing. Um, yeah, just another way to get students engaged in listening. All right, what do we have? Let's see. Oh, finally, let's not forget about building positive relationships with our students. Creating a supportive classroom environment where students feel valued, respected, and supported is essential for fostering engagement and promoting academic success. All right, so we don't want to cut that short. Build your positive relationships with your students. I am a strict teacher, but I like to think that they know that I love them, I care for them. Um, I am a huggy teacher. It is okay if they hug me. I know that's not for everybody. But for me in kindergarten, that's just, they would see me in the mornings, fist bumps, hugs, whatever they wanted. Um, but even the students that were the hardest to handle, I guess you could say, knew that I was there for them. Um, a student confided in me things that were going on at home one time, and we got her the help that she needed. And I think if you don't build a positive relationship with your students, they're not going to come to you when they need something, like something at home, or if they don't like you, they're not going to want to work for you. So not only are you missing out on a chance to build a relationship with a kid, you're missing out a chance to teach that child. So I think building positive relationships with your students is one of the biggest challenges, but most important, right? And it'll vary from student to student and teacher to teacher. So let's see. Oh, you love hugging too. Yes, preschool. They're so cute. Preschool, kindergarten, first grade. Yeah. I'm a huggy teacher, but that's okay. I had one student, um, can't give names, but he had some special needs, and he was known to throw things. He came to me as a hitter and all of these things. And I can remember one day, like a few times, I was trying to reach into my bag of tricks and figure out, what does he need? One day, I just said, "Oh, I just need a hug." He stopped everything and hugged, because I know that sometimes like tight hugs can be a release. And so sometimes he would like start throwing a fit, and I'm just like, "Oh, I really need snuggles." So his mom came to me one time and she's like, "What are nuggles?" And I'm like, "Nuggles?" He wanted snuggles. He learned the power of being frustrated and needing a tight hug. And we just called them snuggles. I didn't know what to do at the time. I just knew I needed to stop this behavior. And I was like, oh, I really just need a hug. Oh, I really just need snuggles. And it became a thing for him. And it took us, about a month to get over some of these behaviors. And that was it. It was just a proud moment. But I think he learned that we can do this together, a little positive little hug. So, and his mom learned something valuable too, which was great because his parents were on board from day one. They asked for suggestions and just, oh, it was so nice to have parents like that. So, okay, a little off on my tangent there, but there you have it. So that's it. A toolkit of strategies to enhance student engagement in your classroom. So I hope you found these ideas helpful and inspiring. And remember, when we engage our students, we not only educate them, but empower them to reach their full potential, right? So thanks for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more educational content. I'm hoping to get some of these topics that I wrote out to you ahead of time, so that you can either engage in the topics in our Facebook group. We do have a mastermind Facebook group. It's called Teachers Mastermind Your Business. I want to foster some of these discussions in there as well and then come live. So head over there, join the Facebook group, and let's get some chats going. Thank you so much, Kelly and Kathy, for coming. I appreciate you guys, and to anybody that watches the replay. Mwah, much love. See you all next time. Goodbye.